Close the door, she whispered. I never expected what the city's vet wanted next. The rain hammered against the taxi window like 1,000 tiny accusations, blurring the neon lights of Chicago into a smear of regret. I clutched my duffel bag tighter, the leather slick under my palms, heart pounding in sync with the wiper's frantic swipe. Drop me here, I muttered to the driver, voice barely cutting through the downpour. He nodded, eyes flicking to the rearview, and pulled over in front of a nondescript brownstone on the edge of Wicker Park. My new life, or what was left of it, waited inside, but stepping out felt like diving into an abyss. I was Ellie Harper, 34, graphic designer by trade, runaway by necessity. Fresh from a divorce that tasted like ash and broken promises, I'd fled the suburbs of Milwaukee for the city's pulse, hoping anonymity would stitch up the holes in my chest. But as I dashed through the storm to the lobby door, fumbling with keys that weren't mine yet, a sharp yip echoed from the alley beside the building. It pierced me, that sound, small, desperate, laced with the kind of fear I'd known too well. Kneeling in a puddle that soaked my jeans to the knees, I found her. A scruffy terrier mix, ribs sharp under matted fur. One paw twisted at an ugly angle. Her eyes, wide and whiskey brown, locked onto mine, and something in me cracked open. "Hey girl," I whispered, scooping her up despite the mud streaking my shirt. She whimpered, hot breath against my neck, and I held her like a lifeline as I stumbled back inside. The lobby smelled of old varnish and faint lavender from a neighbor's diffuser, the kind of scent that promised normalcy but delivered echoes. Up 3 flights, my apartment was a shoebox of exposed brick and second-hand dreams, rented sight unseen through a frantic email chain. I laid the dog on the kitchen towel I'd spread across the linoleum, her body trembling as thunder rattled the fire escape. "You're okay now," I lied, stroking her flank, feeling the rapid flutter of her heart mirror my own. But she wasn't. The paw swelled purple, infection setting in like a bad memory, and by midnight, fever burned through her. Dawn crept in, gray and unforgiving, the city stirring with distant horns and the sizzle of street vendors firing up grills. I couldn't wait. Bundling her in my jacket, I hailed another cab to the nearest vet clinic, the one Google swore was open 24/7. Lakeside Animal Care, a squat brick building on Division Street, its sign flickering like a hesitant heartbeat. The bell above the door jingled as I burst in, rain dripping from my hair onto the checkered floor. The waiting room was empty, save for stacks of outdated magazines and a fish tank bubbling softly in the corner. "Hello." My voice cracked, echoing off the walls lined with photos of wagging tails and grateful owners. From the back, a door swung open, and there she was, Dr. Lena Vasquez, though I didn't know her name yet. Mid-30s like me, with olive skin glowing under the fluorescent hum, her dark hair cropped short and tousled as if she just rolled out of a fight with sleep. She wore a white coat over a faded band tee, something indie I couldn't place, and her hazel eyes sharpened on us immediately, taking in the shivering bundle in my arms. "What happened?" she asked, voice steady but laced with that urgent warmth that makes you believe in mercy. I thrust the dog forward, words tumbling out in a rush. "Found her in the rain. Paw's bad. She's burning up." Lena nodded, no questions, just a quick gesture toward the exam table. As I laid the terrier down, her paw twitched, eliciting a soft whine that twisted my gut. Lena's hands moved with practiced grace, gloved fingers probing gently, her brow furrowing at the damage. Fracture likely from a fall. Infection setting in fast. She glanced up, eyes meeting mine for the first time, really meeting, like she saw the storm in me too. "We'll need x-rays, antibiotics." "You her owner?" "Not yet," I admitted, throat tight. "But I can't leave her like this." A pause, her lips pressing into a line that spoke of too many strays and not enough happy endings. "All right. Follow me." She led me through the swinging door into the back, the air cooler there, thick with the tang of antiseptic and wet fur. The terrier, whom I'd started calling Rain in my head, curled against my side as Lena prepped the machine, her movements efficient, almost rhythmic. The whir of the X-ray filled the silence, broken only by Rain's shallow pants and the distant rumble of an L train overhead. By the time the images printed, Lena was already mixing a syringe, her focus unbreakable yet somehow inviting. It's a clean break, but she'll need a cast and monitoring. 24 hours in the clinic to start the meds. She straightened, peeling off her gloves with a snap that made me flinch. You new in town? That jacket's got Milwaukee written all over it. I blinked, caught off guard. How'd you? The Packers pin on the collar. Subtle but dead giveaway. A small smile tugged at her mouth, softening the exhaustion etched in her laugh lines. She was beautiful in that unpolished way. Strong jaw, a faint scar above her left eyebrow, like she'd once trusted too much and paid for it. I'm Lena. And this little fighter? She's lucky you found her. Ellie, I said, extending a hand that she shook firmly, her skin warm against my chilled fingers. And yeah, new. Starting over, I guess. Her gaze lingered, something unspoken flickering there. Recognition maybe of shared fractures. Chicago eats the broken and spits out survivors. Stick around. She'll show you her teeth. She turned back to Rain, injecting the sedative with a whisper-soft touch. As the dog's eyes fluttered shut, Lena's shoulders sagged just a fraction, and I caught the sigh she let escape, heavy as the rain outside. We stood there in the quiet aftermath, the clinic's clock ticking like a countdown. You don't have to stay, she said finally, but her tone begged the opposite. I do, I replied, surprising myself, and in that moment, with the scent of pine cleaner mingling with the earth's musk on my clothes, I felt the first stir of something dangerous, connection, raw and unbidden. The morning wore on, sunlight piercing the clouds in hesitant shafts, casting long shadows across the exam room floor. Lena worked methodically, setting the cast with pops of plaster that echoed like distant gunfire. I hovered, useless but unwilling to leave, fetching supplies when she asked, our fingers brushing once over a roll of gauze. Electric, accidental, gone too soon. She talked in fits and starts. About the clinic's endless stream of urban strays, the hawk that once perched on her fire escape demanding fish, the way the city lights reflected in Lake Michigan like scattered diamonds after a loss. You're good at this, I said, watching her secure the bandage, Rain now peacefully snoring under the blanket. She shrugged, wiping her hands on her coat. Comes with the territory. Animals don't lie, they just hurt. Her eyes met mine again, sharper this time, probing. What about you? What chased you here? The question hung, heavy as the humidity seeping in. I opened my mouth, the truth bitter on my tongue. Sarah, my ex, the one who'd promised forever, then shattered it with a man from her office, the empty house echoing with arguments we'd never finish. But instead I deflected. Bad breakup. Needed walls that didn't whisper memories. Lena nodded, no judgment, just a soft hum of understanding. Fair enough. We've all got ghosts. She glanced at the clock, 8 a.m. And the waiting room bell jingled, signaling the first client of the day. I've got to handle this. You can wait in the lounge if you want. Coffee's fresh. I did wait, nursing a mug that scalded my tongue, the bitter brew grounding me as I scrolled job listings on my phone. Graphic design gigs in the city, logos for startups, billboards for breweries. Anything to anchor me. But my mind wandered back to her. The way Lena's coat hung loose on her frame, hinting at curves earned from late nights and longer runs, the faint scent of eucalyptus on her skin, cutting through the clinical sterility. By noon, Rain was stable, cast gleaming white against her fur. Lena emerged from a consult, stethoscope dangling like a talisman. She's through the worst. Come back tomorrow. It was a question, but her eyes made it a plea. Yeah, I said, heart tripping. Tomorrow. As I stepped out into the bustling street, the sun now fierce overhead, vendors hawking tamales and the air thick with exhaust and grilled onions, I felt the city's grip tighten. Little did I know the real pull was just beginning. The vet's secrets, the whispers that would unravel us both. The next day dawned crisp, autumn nipping at the edges of summer's heat, leaves skittering across sidewalks like forgotten notes. I arrived at Lakeside just after opening, a peace offering of donuts clutched in a greasy bag. Apple fritters, the kind that ooze cinnamon when you bite in. The bell jingled again, familiar now, and Lena looked up from her chart, surprise lighting her face like a struck match. Ellie, back already? She wiped her hands on a towel, stepping around the counter with that easy stride, hips swaying just enough to snag my gaze. Couldn't stay away, I joked, holding out the bag. Our fingers brushed again, deliberate this time, and heat bloomed in my cheeks. For the hero. And Rain, if she can handle solids. Her laugh was low, throaty, the sound wrapping around me like smoke. She'll devour it. Come on back. The exam room smelled of fresh hay and antibiotic ointment. Rain perking up at my voice, tail thumping weakly against the table. Lena checked her vitals, stethoscope cold against fur, her focus intense yet tender. I watched, mesmerized by the play of light on her neck, the way a stray curl escaped to tickle her collarbone. She's a fighter, Lena murmured, scratching behind Rain's ears. Like her rescuer. Our eyes locked, the air thickening, charged with the unsaid. What was this? Gratitude? Or something sharper, hungrier? We fell into conversation as she updated the chart. Words flowing like the river beyond the clinic windows. She was Chicago-born, third generation. Her family a tapestry of Puerto Rican roots woven into the city's fabric. Abuela's empanadas on Sundays. The salsa clubs in Pilsen where she danced away teenage heartbreaks. Vet school on scholarships. Nights pulling doubles to pay tuition. The quiet pride in saving one life at a time. It's not glamorous, she said, capping her pen with a click. But it's mine. I shared fragments of my own patchwork. Milwaukee's frozen winters, designing album covers for local bands before Sarah convinced me corporate was safer. The stability that turned stagnant. The nights I'd lie awake tracing cracks in the ceiling. Wondering if love was just a pretty lie. Then it broke. I finished, voice dropping. And I ran. Lena leaned against the counter, arms crossed, her coat gaping slightly to reveal the tee's faded print. The replacements, I realized now. Running's not always away. Sometimes it's toward. She paused, gaze softening. You sticking around for good? The question lingered as the lunch rush hit. Meows and barks filtering from the kennels, phones ringing like alarms. I helped where I could, holding a squirming cat for its shots, the scratch on my forearm a small badge. Lena's touches were professional. A hand on my shoulder to steady me, her breath warm against my ear as she guided my grip, but each one lingered, a spark in dry tinder. By afternoon, with Rain discharged into my care, bandages and meds in tow, the clinic emptied, leaving us in a pocket of quiet. Sun slanted low through the blinds, painting stripes on the floor. Walk with me, Lena asked, shrugging off her coat to reveal jeans that hugged her like a second skin. There's a dog park nearby. Rain could use the air. We strolled under oaks shedding copper leaves, the path crunching underfoot, city sounds muffled by the green. Rain hobbled on her leash, sniffing hydrants with renewed vigor, while we talked about the best deep dish spots. She swore by Lou Malnati's, the hidden murals in Logan Square, the ache of loving something wild and untamable. Her hand brushed mine as we navigated a puddle, and neither pulled away. Instead, fingers intertwined, tentative, then sure. The warmth seeping into my bones like sunlight after storm. At the park's edge, benches worn smooth by countless confessions, we sat. Rain flopped at our feet, panting softly. Lena turned to me, eyes searching. Ellie, this city's full of ghosts. But you feel like a beginning. My breath caught, the world narrowing to her lips, parted slightly, the faint chapstick sheen, cherry sweet and tart. I leaned in, heart slamming, and she met me halfway. The kiss was soft at first, exploratory, tasting of coffee and possibility. Then deeper, her hand cupping my neck, thumb tracing my jaw. A sigh escaping her that vibrated through me. Leaves rustled overhead, a breeze carrying the distant bark of dogs, and for the first time in months I breathed easy. But as we pulled apart, flushed and grinning, her phone buzzed, a sharp trill cutting the haze. She glanced at the screen, face clouding. Family. I should. She stood, reluctance in every line. Dinner tomorrow? My place. I'll cook. Deal, I said, pulse still racing. As she walked away, coat slung over shoulder, the sway of her hips a promise, I scooped Rain and headed home. The city's hum a lullaby now. That night, in my shoebox apartment, Rain curled on the bed beside me, her snores a gentle rhythm. I sketched idly. Curves of a woman's silhouette, hazel eyes staring back. Until sleep claimed me, dreams laced with whispers and the scent of rain-kissed skin. Morning light sliced through the blinds like accusations, pulling me from a tangle of sheets damp with sweat. Rain stirred, paw thumping the mattress in her sleep, and I smiled despite the knot in my stomach. Last night's kiss replayed in fragments. Lena's fingers in my hair, the soft press of her body against mine on that bench, the way her laugh bubbled up afterward, free and unguarded, felt real, too real maybe for someone still nursing wounds. I shook it off, brewing coffee that filled the air with its nutty bite, the pot gurgling like an old friend. Job hunt first. Emails to agencies, portfolio links polished to a shine. By 10 a bite, freelance gig for a craft beer label. Designing labels that evoked foggy mornings and hoppy rebellion. It paid enough for rent and kibble, a foothold in the chaos. But my mind drifted to dinner, to her. What if this was Rebound, a city's cruel joke? Sarah's ghost lingered in the mirror's reflection, my reflection eyes shadowed, lips still tingling from another's touch. I dressed carefully. Jeans that hugged without trying, a blouse in soft green that brought out the flecks in my eyes, hair loose like an invitation. The address Lena texted led to a walk-up in Ukrainian village, the neighborhood a mosaic of pierogi shops and graffiti tag stoops, air thick with the sizzle of kielbasa from corner grills. Her building smelled of garlic and laundry detergent, stairs creaking underfoot as I climbed to the 3rd floor. Knocking hard in my throat, I heard footsteps, light, purposeful, and the door swung open. Lena stood there, apron dusted with flour tied low on her hips, hair piled in a messy bun that begged fingers to unravel it. "Ellie," she breathed, smile blooming slow and warm. "Come in. It's almost ready." Her apartment was a revelation. Bookshelves groaning under vet manuals and dog-eared novels, a worn leather couch piled with throw pillows, windows overlooking a courtyard where pigeons cooed in the eaves. The kitchenette hummed with life. Saffron rice simmering, empanadas crisping in the oven, the scent of cumin and lime curling like a caress. Rain's photo from the clinic sat framed on the fridge, a small anchor. "You cook like this every night?" I teased, perching on a stool, watching her chop cilantro with swift, sure strokes. "Only when there's someone worth impressing." She winked, but her eyes held heat, memories of the park flickering between us. We talked over plates steaming with adobo chicken and plantains, wine loosening tongues, her confession of a college fling with a sculptor that ended in shattered clay and tears. My tales of designing posters for Milwaukee's Pride parades, the thrill of colors bleeding into rainbows under streetlights. As dusk painted the walls amber, dishes stacked in the sink, she pulled me to the couch. "Dance with me." No music, just the distant thrum of traffic below. But we swayed anyway, bodies aligning like puzzle pieces long separated. Her hands on my waist, mine on her shoulders, the fabric of her shirt soft under my palms, carrying hints of laundry soap in her. Musk and citrus intoxicating. The kiss ignited slow, building like a summer storm. Lips parting, tongues tentative then bold. Her sigh against my mouth a melody. I tasted salt on her neck, nipping gently, eliciting a gasp that shot straight to my core. "Ellie," she murmured, fingers tracing my spine, arching me closer. We tumbled back, cushions sighing under us, her weight a welcome press, solid, real, alive. Clothes shed in whispers and laughter, skin meeting skin in the lamplight's glow. Her body was a map of stories. Faint stretch marks from growth spurts, a tattoo of a howling wolf on her rib cage, inked after her first solo save, a litter of puppies from a flood. I traced it with lips, tongue, drawing moans that echoed in the quiet room. She was gentle at first, exploring with vet's precision, fingers mapping curves, breath hot on my breasts, then urgent, hips grinding in rhythm with the city's pulse outside. We crested together, cries muffled in shoulders, the world narrowing to slick skin and racing hearts. Afterward, tangled in sheets that smelled of us, she traced lazy circles on my thigh. "Stay," she whispered, voice raw. I did, until dawn's gray fingers pried us apart. Work called, my gig deadline looming, but promises lingered. Coffee dates, park walks with rain, nights blurring into mornings. Weeks blurred into a rhythm, Chicago's seasons shifting with mercurial grace. October brought chill winds whipping off the lake, scarves knotted tight as Lena and I navigated the city hand in hand. Mornings at the clinic, me sketching logos in the waiting room while she stitched a gash on a stray's ear, the metallic tang of blood mingling with her eucalyptus shampoo. Evenings in her kitchen, me chopping onions that stung my eyes while she stirred sofrito, stories spilling like wine, her abuela's tales of San Juan beaches, my dreams of illustrating children's books about fierce girls and loyal dogs. Rain thrived, her limp fading to a jaunty hop, chasing squirrels in the yard with yips that made us laugh until breathless. She became our bridge, curling between us on movie nights, rom-coms flickering on the TV as Lena's head rested on my shoulder, her fingers interlacing with mine in the dark. But cracks formed subtle as hairlines in glass. Late nights at the clinic pulled Lena away, her beeper shrieking at midnight for emergencies, a foal in distress at the suburb's equine annex, a hit-and-run pup fighting for breath. I'd wake alone, sheets cold, staring at the ceiling's water stains, Sarah's voice echoing faint, "You're not enough to hold anyone." One such night, November's bite seeping through windows, I paced her apartment, phone silent. Rain whined from her bed, sensing the storm in me. When Lena finally slipped in at 3 a.m., coat reeking of iodine and despair, I met her at the door. "Another one?" She nodded, eyes shadowed. "Couldn't save him. Young lab, sweet as pie." Her voice broke and she crumpled into my arms, sobs muffled in my neck. I held her, rocking gently, the scent of her hair grounding me as much as her. "You can't save them all," I murmured, but the words tasted hollow. She pulled back, wiping her face with her sleeve. "I have to try. It's who I am." Her gaze searched mine, vulnerable. "You get that, right?" I did, but doubt gnawed. Could I be the steady harbor for someone who sailed into tempests? We made love then, fierce and reclaiming, bodies slamming in the dim light, nails raking backs, cries sharp as the wind. It bound us tighter, but the seed of fear took root. The holidays loomed, twinkling lights strung across Michigan Avenue like false promises. Lena's family invited me. Her sister Marisol's warmth over tamales, Abuela's piercing stare softening to approval as I helped with the flan. "You make her smile, Mija," the old woman said, patting my hand with flour-dusted fingers. It swelled my heart, this inclusion, but whispers followed. Lena's ex, Sophia, a surgeon who'd left for Boston 2 years back, citing the job's demands but really fleeing the commitment. "She's intense," Marisol confided over eggnog, voices low amid the laughter. "Love's hard, breaks harder. Just don't run when it gets real." I nodded, but the warning lodged like a bone. Christmas Eve, snow blanketing the city in hush, we walked the lakefront, mittens linked, breaths fogging the air. "I love this," Lena said, stopping to face me, cheeks rosy from cold. "Us. Here." "Me too," I whispered, pulling her close, the wool of her coat rough against my lips. We kissed under street lamps, snowflakes melting on lashes, the world a blur of white and wonder. But New Year's brought the fracture. My freelance dried up. Client ghosted after revisions and panic clawed in. Lena's hours stretched, the clinic swamped with holiday strays, her exhaustion carving hollows under her eyes. One night, coming home to find her asleep on the couch, charts scattered like fallen leaves, I snapped. "We barely see each other. Is this sustainable?" She stirred, blinking up, hurt flashing. "I'm building something here, Ellie. For us, eventually." "Eventually." The word lashed out, sharp. Rain slunk under the table, tail tucked. We argued in hushed tones, voices cracking like ice. My fears of abandonment, her guilt over the job that defined her. "I need you, not shadows," I said, tears hot on my cheeks. She reached for me, but I stepped back. "I can't lose myself again." The door clicked shut behind me, soft as a sigh, leaving her in the dark. I wandered the snow-dusted streets, boots crunching, the city's revelry mocking my solitude. Fireworks popping distant, laughter spilling from bars. Rain's leash tugged, her warmth the only anchor. Hours later, buzzed on regret and cheap wine from a dive, I returned. Lena waited, eyes red-rimmed, a mug of tea steaming on the table. "Don't go," she whispered, pulling me down beside her. We talked till dawn, raw and unfiltered. Promises to carve space, to fight fair. Making up was slow, tender. Kisses like apologies, hands mapping familiar paths with renewed awe. But the rift lingered, a shadow in our light. Spring teased with crocuses pushing through cracks, mirroring our tentative bloom. I landed a steady gig at a design firm in the Loop, commuting on the L with its rattle and sway, sketching concepts amid the crowd's murmur. Lena cut back shifts, delegating to her tech, freeing evenings for us. Picnics in Millennium Park, her head in my lap as jazz drifted from speakers, fingers toying with my hair. Rain's cast came off, her gallop full-throated joy, chasing frisbees in the park till tongues lolled. We adopted her officially, papers signed with Lena's neat script, my looping cursive beside it, a vow in ink. Yet the past prowled. One rainy April afternoon, as I waited for Lena post-shift, a woman entered the clinic, tall, poised, dark hair cascading like Sophia's from Marisol's tales. She hugged Lena tight, laughter bright, and jealousy twisted like a knife. Who was she? Ex? Rival? I fled before questions formed, hailing a cab through sheets of rain, heart pounding. Home I paced, rain nosing my calves with worried whines. When Lena called, voice laced with concern, "Where'd you go?" I confronted her, words tumbling accusatory. "It's nothing," she insisted, arriving soaked, coat dripping on the rug. "Old classmate. From vet school." But her eyes dodged, and the lie hung between us. "Talk to me," I pleaded, gripping her arms. She sighed, long and weary, sinking to the couch. "Sophia called last week. She's back in town. Conference. Wanted coffee, closure maybe." Her voice cracked. I said no. But seeing her today, it stirred shit up. The admission gutted me, but her honesty mended a thread. "Do you still love her?" She cupped my face, thumbs brushing tears I hadn't felt fall. "No. I love you, Ellie. This us is real." We cried then, holding tight, the storm outside mirroring the one within. Resolution came in whispers, plans for therapy. Hers for the losses that haunted her work, mine for the abandonment etched in my bones. Summer scorched in, humidity thick as desire. We vacationed upstate, a cabin by a whispering brook, days hiking trails scented with pine and wild mint, nights on the porch swing, stars pricking the velvet sky, lovemaking under mosquito netting, skin slick with sweat, her name a chant on my lips. "Forever," she murmured once, post-climax glow fading to vulnerability. "Forever," I echoed, meaning it. Back in the city, life wove tighter. Shared lease on a 2-bedroom in Bucktown. Rain's toys scattered like confetti. My designs graced billboards, her clinic expanded with the rescue program we co-founded. Strays finding homes, one wagging tail at a time. But autumn circled back, leaves turning trader gold. And with it, the whisper that would test us deepest. It started with a phone call at dawn. Lena's voice muffled through sleep. "Clinic emergency. Collie pup hit by a car." She dressed in haste, kisses hurried, but I caught the tremor in her hands. Hours later, she returned hollow-eyed, collapsing beside me. "He didn't make it. Owner's devastated. It's their kid's dog." Tears tracked her cheeks, and I held her, rocking, the scent of blood faint on her scrubs. "You're my rock," she whispered, clinging. But rocks erode. The losses piled. A litter lost to parvo, an old tabby slipping away in her arms, and Lena withdrew, nights poring over charts till eyes burned, smiles forced for clients. I pushed gently. Dates at jazz clubs where sax whales curled like smoke, her head on my shoulder. Brunches with mimosas fizzing bright, laughter coaxing her back. Then the bomb. Sophia, persistent emails turning to calls. "Just friends catching up," Lena swore, deleting threads. But doubt festered, my sketches turning dark, silhouettes fracturing, colors bleeding gray. One crisp October eve, mirroring our first meeting, rain lashed the windows as we argued in the kitchen, steam from pasta curling accusatory. "She's history," Lena shouted, voice breaking. Why can't you trust? Because trust got me here. Alone in a city that swallows whole. I hurled back, plate shattering on tile, shards glinting like tears. Silence crashed, rain cowering in the hall. Lena knelt, gathering pieces, cuts beating on her fingers. I'm sorry, she choked. I can't lose you to ghosts. I knelt too, hands over hers, blood smearing warm. Then let them go. For us. We cleaned in quiet, wounds bandaged, then retreated to bed, bodies curling spoon-like, breath sinking slow. Dawn brought clarity. A weekend away, no phones, just us and the road. We drove to the dunes, Lake Michigan's roar a bomb, sand shifting under bare feet, waves crashing like unresolved chords. There, on a blanket woven with wildflowers, she confessed fully, Sophia's shadow, the fear of repeating pain. I want this, she said, pressing a ring into my palm, simple silver engraved with a paw print. Marry me? Not today, but when you're ready. Tears blurred the lake's blue. My yes, a whisper carried on wind. We made love on the shore, salt stung and fierce, seals barking distant applause. Back home, the city welcomed us renewed. Horns blaring approval, lights twinkling complicit. But fate, that sly trickster, had one more twist. Winter clamped down hard that year. Snow piling like unspoken fears, the city grinding under plow's growl. Our engagement ring glinted on my finger, a quiet talisman during long days at the firm. Pitching campaigns for eco-brands, sketches blooming into ads that dotted bus stops. Lena's clinic thrived, our rescue program pulling in volunteers. Adoption fairs buzzing with hopeful faces and wagging tails. Yet harmony frayed at edges. Lena's beeper still wailed too often, pulling her from our bed into blizzards, scrubbed stiff with frost upon return. I'd wait with hot cocoa steaming cinnamon-laced, but resentment simmered, mine for the intrusions, hers for my growing freelance load that kept me sketching till midnight. One February night, gale force winds rattling panes, she stumbled in late, cheeks chapped red. Kitten colony under a bridge. Half frozen. Her voice was leaden, eyes distant as she peeled off layers, the air chilling further with her recount. Tiny bodies limp, 2 saved, 3 lost to hypothermia's cruel grip. I drew her into the bath, water steaming, bubbles foaming lavender scented. Tell me, I urged, soaping her back, thumbs kneading knots like dough. She leaned into me, sigh shuddering. It's eating me alive, Ellie. Every failure. A mirror of my own cracks. Her hand found mine under suds, ring cool against skin. What if I'm not enough for this? For us. You are, I murmured, kissing her shoulder, water dripping from lashes. We made love there, slow and submerging, fingers tracing ripples, gasps echoing off tiles, reaffirming in whispers and touches. Spring thawed us, cherry blossoms unfurling pink along the riverwalk. Our walks laced with plans. A small ceremony in the dunes, vows exchanged under gulls' cries. Marisol cheered over brunch, Abuela pressing a rosary into Lena's palm. For strength, mi amor. But May brought shadows. A client at work, sharp-suited and silver-tongued, flirted over mock-ups, compliments lingering too long, touches on elbows excused as emphasis. I laughed it off, but Lena saw the email chain, her jaw tightening over dinner. He's pushing boundaries. It's nothing, I said, fork scraping plate. Professional. Her eyes flashed. Like Sophia's catch-ups. The words landed like slaps, old wounds reopening. We simmered in silence, Rain's paws clicking anxious on wood. Later in bed she turned away back a wall. I trust you, she muttered into pillow. But fear's louder sometimes. I bridged the gap, arm over her waist, breath sinking. Then we'll shout it down together. Summer sizzled, heat waves warping sidewalks, our air conditioner wheezing defeat. We escaped to festivals, pitchforks bass thumping through bodies, her dancing wild and free, sweat-slick skin pressing close in crowds. Nights on the roof, city sprawl glittering below, wine warming veins as we dreamed aloud. A house with a yard for Rain's pups, maybe kids one day. Adopted. A family forged from fragments. Yet the clinic's demands escalated. A grant for expansion meant grant writing marathons. Lena hunched over laptop till eyes crossed, coffee cold in mugs. I supported bringing takeout greasy with gyro meat, but fatigue bred snips. Forgotten anniversaries, missed calls. August dog days peaked with crisis. A call at midnight. Multi-car pileup on the expressway. Animals trapped in wreckage. Lena geared up, kissing my forehead hasty. Back by dawn. She wasn't. 5 a.m. the door creaked, her face ashen. Labradoodle family, mom gone, pups fighting shock. She collapsed, uniform torn, blood flecked like rust. I cleaned her wounds, antiseptic stinging. Her flinch a stab to my heart. Why you? I whispered, bandaging a gash on her palm. Let the team handle some. They're my team, she snapped, then softened, wincing. I built this. Can't abandon ship. We argued low, voices gravel from sleeplessness. My plea for balance, her defensive passion. This is me, Ellie. Take it or don't. I cut in, tears pricking. I take all of you. Just share the weight. She nodded, pulling me close, salt mingling on cheeks. Resolution in the quiet. Therapy sessions tagged on calendars, boundaries drawn like battle lines. Fall gilded edges, harvest moons hanging low. Our wedding loomed, invites out. A justice of the peace booked for the lakefront, wildflowers in jars. Excitement bubbled, but undercurrents pulled. Sophia resurfaced, a letter forwarded to the clinic. Apology laced with nostalgia. Miss our talks. Lena showed me, hand steady. Burn it. We did, in the sink, flames dancing blue, smoke curling acrid. Done, she said, ashes swirling down drain. But closure's illusion shattered November 1st. A conference invite for Lena. Veterinary summit in Boston, all expenses, her name on panels. 2 days, she promised, packing light. Network for the rescue. I nodded but gut twisted. Airport drop-off. Kiss lingering amid exhaust fumes. Her wave from security a lifeline. Alone the apartment echoed. Rains winds my company. Sketches abandoned for pacing. Calls came sparse. Panel went great. Miss you. Then silence. Day 2, a text. Staying extra. Old colleague dinner. Love you. Jealousy roared, visions of candlelit tables, Sophia's laugh. I fired back. With who? No reply till morning. Sorry, crashed early. Home tomorrow. She arrived rumpled, excuses tumbling. Networking ran long, jet lag hit hard. But her eyes skated away, cologne faint on collar, not mine. Truth, I demanded, rain at my feet, tension thick as fog. She sighed, sinking to chair. Saw Sophia. By accident at the bar. Talked. Cleared air. The room spun. And nothing physical. Just words. Regrets. But it reminded me why I left. Her hand reached, pleading. You're mine now, Ellie. I pulled away, heart fracturing. Was it? Or temptation? We dissected it raw, her admission of flutters, old flames flickering, my terror of echoes. I choose us, she vowed, tears carving tracks. Every time. Forgiveness came grudging, therapy unpacking layers. Her avoidance of pain, my hypervigilance. We rebuilt, date nights mandatory. Art Institute strolls, Monet's lilies blurring like tears, hands clasped tight. Winter solstice brought truce, Yule log crackling in the hearthweed installed. Mulled wine spicy on tongues. Vows rehearsed in whispers. In chaos and calm I choose you. Spring wedding dawn perfect. Lake breeze ruffling veils. Marisol's toast slurring sentimental. Abuela's blessing murmured over rings. We danced barefoot on sand, toes sinking, her laugh in my ear, a vow renewed. Honeymoon in the Keys, hammock swaying. Conch shells whispering secrets. Love making lazy under palms, her body a landscape I knew by heart. Freckles like stars, moans like waves. Back life hummed. My promotion to lead designer. Campaigns launching with fanfare. Clinic's new wing ribbon cut. Pups yipping triumph. Rain swelled with puppies, surprise litter from a park dalliance. Our family expanding in wriggling joy. But June's heat masked a chill. Lena's energy flagged. Mornings queasy over coffee, chalked to stress. Wedding hangover, she joked, but pallor lingered. Doctor's visit confirmed. Early pregnancy scare, no wait. Tests blurred. Anemia? Something deeper. Biopsy words dropped like stones. Lymphoma caught soon treatable. Shock numbed then roared. Her hand in mine, clinic sterile white. We fight, I said, voice steel. Together. Chemo started subtle, infusions dripping slow, her hair shedding like autumn leaves. I shaved it gentle, clippers buzzing, her scalp smooth under my palm. Beautiful, I whispered, kissing crown. Nights she'd curl into me, chills racking despite blankets, rain's warmth at feet. Scared, she'd admit, voice small. Me too, I'd confess, holding tighter. But you're my fighter. Support rallied. Marisol's casserole steaming comfort. Abuela's prayers rosaried fervent. Firm flexing hours for me to shuttle treatments. Summer waned, her strength ebbing then surging. Good days park walks, rain's pups tumbling. Bad ones bedbound, nausea green. Fall's colors mocked vibrancy as scans showed progress. Remission whispers tantalizing. Clear, she asked oncologist, hope fragile. Promising, he hedged. Monitor. We clung to it. Thanksgiving feast small but fierce, turkey carved, toast to survival. Winter's grip loosened with news. Full remission. Tears flooded, hugs crushing, her bald head fuzzing soft under my fingers. We did it, she breathed, ring glinting. Spring bloomed triumphant. Cherry petals confetti. Pups rehomed save one. Scruffy girl we named Hope trotting beside Rain. Life normalized but changed, checkups routine, gratitude daily. Our love, tempered in fire, burned steady. Yet the title's whisper echoed. That door closed soft, hiding what next the city demanded. Years folded like accordions, summer scorching into winter's bite. Our groove deepening with the city's rhythm. Ellie and Lena Harper Vasquez, hyphenated for harmony, settled into the two-bedroom, walls now hung with my illustrations. Fierce women with dogs at heels, colors vivid as our days. Hope and Rain ruled the roost, silver muzzles nuzzling bowls. Their snores a duet under our bed. Lena's clinic expanded again, a satellite in Humboldt Park, her name on grants for urban wildlife rehab. Raccoons with bottle caps on snouts, hawks tangled in fishing line. She mentored interns, voice steady in lectures, but home vulnerability peaked. Did right by them today, she'd say, collapsing into my arms, eucalyptus clinging despite scrubs. My career crested, senior creative at the firm, leading teams on Super Bowl spots, storyboards sprawling across tables like battle plans. Late nights meant takeout falafel wrappers on counters, Lena waiting with foot rubs and wine, her touch absolving overtime guilt. Anniversaries marked milestones. Third with a dune revisit, sandcastles crumbling as we renewed vows, waves lapping promises. Fifth a surprise trip to San Juan, Abuela's beach house alive with merengue, salt air healing old scars. Parenthood crept in whispers, foster certs first, testing waters. Then Mia, for wide-eyed from the system, braids flying as she chased Hope in the yard. Her laughter filled cracks, bedtime stories, my sketches come alive. Adventures of girl vets saving dragon pups. Adoption finalized on a crisp autumn day. Courthouse steps photo capturing her gap-toothed grin. Lena's arm around us, tears smudging mascara. Family, she mouthed, and it stuck. But cities devour complacency. One sweltering July, Lena's beeper, upgraded to app but shrill as ever, summoned her to a warehouse fire, smoke acrid as she described. Singed ferrets in crates, illegal breeding op busted. She returned soot-streaked, coughing, Mia clinging wide-eyed. Mommy okay? The girl asked, tiny hand on cheek. Fine bug, Lena rasped, hugging fierce. But lungs wheezed weeks after. Checkup flagging fibrosis scars from exposures past. Treatable, pulmonologist assured. Inhaler prescribed. We adapted, masks for dusty calls. Mia learning sick days with cartoons and cuddles. Fall brought bounty. Harvest fair with Mia's pumpkin pie attempt. Crust lopsided but sweet. Yet shadows lengthened. A donor pulled funding for the rehab wing. Budget shortfalls biting deep. Lena paced nights, spreadsheets glowing. Can't let it fold. It's our legacy. Ours, yes, volunteers I'd recruited from firm contacts, Mia's drawings on walls. I crunched numbers beside her, coffee bitter. We'll pivot. Crowdfund. She kissed my temple, weary. My fixer. Winter holidays sparkled. Tree strung with pup ornaments. Mia's elf antics. Cookies baked to charcoal. But New Year's toast clinked hollow. Lena's cough persisted, deeper now. Spring scans clear but fatigue-dogged. Stares winded her. Runs with hope shortened to trots. Aging, she joked, but eyes worried. Summer's heat exacerbated. AC battles lost to brownouts. One August Eve post-shift she slumped at dinner, fork dropping. Dizzy, she murmured, face ashen. ER lights harsh, IVs dripping saline. Diagnosis: pneumonia, opportunistic from scarred lungs. Rest, doc ordered. And that grant? Delegate. She chafed but complied. Intern stepping up, me shuttling Mia to school with backpack tugs and lunchbox kisses. Fall remission held but caution reigned. Reduced hours, therapy for breathing. Mia noticed drawings turning to bandaged mommies. Will you get better? She asked one night, pigtails drooping. Lena pulled her close, voice steady. Every day, Peanut. With you two fighting beside me. We leaned in, date nights swapped for family movie marathons, popcorn kernels crunching underfoot, vacations to Wisconsin cabins, lake swims cooling fevers. Yet the city's underbelly gnawed. A string of poisonings, rats baited near the clinic, pets collateral. Lena investigated, knocking on doors in hoodies. Mia's safe stories spun for her absences. Bad guys with bad plans, she'd say, but tension coiled her shoulders. One October dawn, pre-light sirens wailed. Call came. Break-in at the satellite, equipment trashed, animals loose. Lena bolted, me following with Mia bundled asleep in back. Scene chaos. Cages splintered, fur matted in alleys, her team corralling strays amid flashing blues. Amateurs, she muttered, scooping a trembling tabby, cough hacking. Culprits caught, rival breeder grudge-fueled but toll-mounted. Lena's lungs rebelled, infection flaring. Hospital again, monitors beeping, Mia's hands small in hers. Mississippi Park time, the girl whispered. Soon, Lena promised, winking weak. Recovery slow, steam from nebulizers fogging mirrors. I juggled, firm deadlines met in coffee-fueled hazes. Mia's recitals attended with proud claps. Lena mended, but fragility lingered. A glass thread in our weave. Spring bloomed resilient. Mia's school play starring her as vet hero. Applause thundering. Post-show ice cream cones dripping sticky. Lena leaned on me. Proud of us. Summer whispered threats anew. A grant rejection letter arrived. Red stamped final. Lena stared, crumpling it slow. What now? We brainstormed late, wine loosening ideas. Partnerships with zoos, community drives. Hope sparked. A local brewer, my client, pledged matching funds. Told you, fixer, she teased, kiss deepening to bedroom. Bodies familiar yet electric, Mia asleep down hall. Fall's equinox brought balance. Wing saved, ribbon cutting with Mia snipping oversized scissors, cheers echoing. Winter wrapped gentle, snowmen built with carrot noses askew. But January chilled deep. A cough returning, persistent, wet. Specialist visit. Progression, fibrosis worsening. Oxygen at night, he said, mask fitted like a muzzle. Lena masked up, tubes hissing soft but spirit unbroken. Story time with Mia, voices muffled but magical. Spring's thaw mirrored hope. Clinical trial slots secured, experimental meds promising. Infusions weekly, side effects nausea roiling, but scans showed stabilization. Summer solstice party. Backyard bash, lanterns glowing, neighbors toasting to fighters. Lena danced slow with Mia. Then me, breath labored but eyes alight. Worth every breath, she murmured. Fall harvest, pumpkins carved grinning but fatigue chained her couch days, books propped on laps. Winter solstice, trial data in. Efficacy high, lungs mending slow. Cheers rang, tears flowing free. Yet the whisper persisted, door ajar to unforeseen. Decades turn etched lines on faces. Mia now teen tall, braces glinting and smirks, soccer cleats muddying halls. Our home expanded, third bedroom for her art studio. My designs funding Renas. Lena's reduced shifts allowing garden plots bursting, tomatoes red as her temper when weeds won. Clinic-anchored community. Free spay days drawing lines, her talks at schools on empathy. Voice gravel from scars but compelling. Animals teach us grace, she'd say, Mia rolling eyes but beaming secret. My firm promoted me exec, travel to coasts for pitches. A sun glaring off glass towers, New York subways rumbling like doubts. Homecomings. Lena's hugs fierce, Mia's updates rapid fire on crushes and calc grades. Anniversaries layered. 10th of vow renewal, dunes again. Mia officiating with giggles, waves crashing benediction. You two are gross perfect, she quipped, tossing petals. Parenting peak trials. Mia's first heartbreak, boy from team ghosting post-dance. We tag-teamed, Lena's tough love over hot chocolate. He lost out, kiddo. My sketches of armored hearts. Cracks let light in. Summer camp sent her away, cabin letters in loopy script. Miss you. Bugs gross. Empty nest preview, Lena and I reclaiming nights. Wine on porch, stars winking. Hands wandering slow, rediscovering in whispers. Fall college apps loomed, Mia's anxiety spiking. Late nights pacing, rain's successor. Old girl past gentle, buried under oak, nosing comfort. We mediated, application sealed with kisses. Winter acceptance. U of I full ride for bio, her path shadowing Lena's. Tears at drop-off, dorm room posters of my art, hugs lingering. Call anytime. We chorused, drive home silent, hands clasped over gearshift. Empty house echoed but freedom bloomed. Spontaneous trips, New Orleans jazz funerals turned dances, beignets sugaring lips. Lovemaking unhurried, bodies map deeper, scars badges of battles won. Clinic hit snag. City zoning fight. High-rise proposed blocking access. Lena rallied, petitions circulated, council meetings her stage. Voice thundering despite oxygen's hush. This isn't just bricks. It's lives. I designed flyers, bold graphics screaming save, distributed at markets where sauerkraut steamed. Victory narrow, variance granted. Her exhaustion post-fight bedbinding days. Spring, Mia visited, stories tumbling, dissections thrilling, friends queer inclusive. Proud? She asked, eyes our hazel mix. Always, Lena said, squeezing hand. Summer internship at clinic, Mia shadowing, scrubs dwarfing frame. Like old times, Lena grinned but cough betrayed. Trial meds waning efficacy, lungs protesting. Fall scan decline. Adjustment to stronger cocktail. Side effects neuropathy, numbing toes. Pins and needles, she joked, but steps faltered, cane occasional. We adapted. Ramps at home, Mia's visits lengthening, her hand steadying Mom's. Team Harper Vasquez, she'd declare. Pizza slices folding grease. Winter holidays, Mia home, tree trimming traditions. Ornaments clinking memories, eggnog spiked light. But Lena tired fast, couch thrown for carols. Spring break, family hike, trails gentle, wildflowers nodding. Mia ahead, scouting, Lena leaning on me, breath puffing. Grateful, she whispered, kissing temple. Summer's heat tested. Flare-up landed her hospitalized, IVs beeping, Mia flying back mid-shift. Not leaving, she vowed, caught by bed. Discharge brought homebound haze. Oxygen portable, tanks hissing like sentinels. I worked remote, sketches digital now, Mia's gap year deferred to help. Fall leaves turned, Mia enrolled local, commute short for check-ins. Therapy group for caregivers, my outlet. Voices sharing loads, coffee bitter but bonding. Winter solstice, trial phase ends. No further stability plateau. Enough, Doc said. Palliative shift, comfort focus. Lena nodded fierce. I've miles left. Spring equinox, garden tended tandem. Mia digging, me weeding, Lena directing from chair, sun warming faces. Laughter rang as worms wriggled free. Summer faded, her weight dropping but spirit soared. Memoir drafted. Pause and promises. Stories of saves, dedication to my anchors. Fall harvest, book launch, small friends toasting. Mia reading excerpt, voice cracking emotion. Winter's grip, she weakened. Bet mostly, morphine easing edges, Mia's stories bedside. Dates with girlfriends, soccer goals. Live big, Lena urged, hand trembling in hers. One snow-dusted dawn, monitors silent. She slipped quiet, breath easing final. Room still, Mia's sob breaking, my heart shattering silent. Funeral lakeside. Ashes scattered where vows exchanged, waves claiming gentle. Mia clung. She fought good. She did. I whispered, arm around her. Spring bloomed without, cherry petals mocking joy. Mia graduated, cap tossed high, her speech. Mom taught mercy, Ellie creation. Together, unbreakable. Summer, I tended garden alone, tomatoes ripening red. Clinic volunteer now. Her legacy purring in kennels. Fall, book hit shelves, reviews warm. A vet's heart, raw and real. Winter solstice, Mia and I lit candle, whispers to stars. Miss you. Love wins. The door closed soft that night, but what next? Life's city, ever demanding, whispered on. Grief's architecture rebuilt me slow. Rooms of memory echoing Lena's laugh in empty halls. Mia's footsteps lighter now as she packed for grad school. Vet med, her mother's path etched deep. You'll visit? She asked, duffel zipping final. Every weekend. I promised, hugging tight, her shampoo scent, citrus like Lena's stabbing sweet. Alone the house breathed heavy, hope's successor, Mia named her Echo, nosing my calves, tail thumping questions. Nights I wandered clinics, volunteering charts, sense of antiseptic balm to wounds. She'd be proud, a text said, eyes kind. Summer scorched solitude, firm projects piling. Campaign for animal welfare. Irony biting as I sketched pause in peril. Dates flickered. Coffee with a designer, laughs tentative but touches recoiled, ghosts hovering. Fall, Mia's calls bridged. Dissected a heart today. Felt her. Tears shared over lines, her girlfriend Nora's voice background steady. Winter break, they came home, Nora shy, braids intricate, dinner awkward then easy, story swapping. Tell me about her, Nora urged, and we did, photos passed, laughter amid sniffles. Spring thought intentions. I traveled for work, coasts calling but roots pulled. Clinic board seat accepted, Lena's vision mine now. Summer wedding for me and Nora. Backyard wildflowers nodding, my toast slurring. Love like hers, fierce, enduring. Rings exchanged, dances swaying, echo under table scavenging cake. Fall, empty again, I dated deliberate. A barista with tattoos swirling stories, walks with echo leashed loose. Kisses tentative but Lena's whisper. Live Ellie. Winter's hush, book sequel penned, my illustrations pairing her words. Whispers from the wild. Launch with Mia reading, crowd hushed. Spring romance bloomed. Jordan the barista, curls wild, laugh booming. Dinner stretched, echo approving with licks. You're healing, she asked one night, fingers tracing my ring scar, faded but felt. Trying, I admitted, leaning in, lips meeting soft. Summer deepened us. Road trip southwest, canyons echoing, nights under stars, bodies aligning new. Gentle explorations, moans mingling with coyote calls. Fall, Mia's internship at our clinic, Nora alongside, family orbiting close. Jordan met them, easy fit, barbecue smoke curling, stories overlapping. Winter holidays blended. Jordan's kin joining, tables groaning turkey and lax, toasts to found families. Spring proposal. Jordan on one knee by lake, ring simple silver, paw print echo. Yes, I breathed, waves applauding. Summer wedding small. Dunes again, Mia officiating, Nora beaming. Vows. In shadows and sun I choose you. Fall honeymoon postponed. Clinic crisis funding dip. We rallied Jordan's bar pitching fundraisers, lattes funding pups. Winter settled. Shared home, Jordan's mugs cluttering. Echo's bed doubled. But city's pulse quicken temp. A developer-eyed clinic land offers slick. Board fractured, Mia fierce. Over my mom's grave. Fight launched, petitions, media bites, my designs viral, bold calls to save. Jordan rallied crowds, mic in hand. This is heart, not real estate. Victory Pyrrhic, compromise, smaller footprint but souls scarred. Spring renewal. Groundbreaking for annex, Mia's shovel first, dirt flying defiant. Summer, Jordan's tattoo parlor thrived nearby. Ink stories healing. Lena's wolf on my arm fresh. Fall book tour, Mia and I reading tandem, audiences tearing up. Winter solstice, candle lit for 3, Lena's seat empty but warm. Life's door creaked wider, next unforeseen. Mia's pregnancy news, ultrasound blob waving. Grandma'd be thrilled. Tears yes, plans whirl. Nursery sketches, clinic playpen. Spring birth. Boy Theo wailing lusty, Mia's eyes in miniature. Holding him, Lena's echo. Fighter. Summer family swelled. Jordan Uncle Auntie bottles, echo guarding crib. Fall harvest, Theo's first pumpkin. Smash joyful orange pulp flying. Winter's hush, stories whispered. Your abuelita saved worlds. The city demanded but we gave, love's legacy endless. Theo's toddler tyranny ruled. Chubby fists grabbing sketches. Crayons scrawling chaos on walls. My designs now kid-proof, firm flexing family leave. Jordan adapted, tattoos traded for teething rings. His laugh booming over tantrums. Clinic pulsed. Mia head vet now, Nora admin sharp, my board whispers guiding. Lena's wing expanded. Aviar Y annex for urban birds. Hawks hooded healing. Summer park days. Theo toddling after Echo's tail. Mia chasing, Nora picnics packed. Jordan grilled, smoke savory, stories circling Lena's ghost. She chase him relentless. Fall, Theo's words bloomed. Gamma? Pointing photos, my heart clench. She watches, buddy. Winter holidays, tiny elf and reindeer jammies, tree lights reflecting wonder. Toast soft. To legacies. Spring, Jordan's proposal to expand parlor. Clinic adjacent, ink and incision side by side. Healing hub, he grinned. Summer build buzzed, hammers echoing hope. Fall launch. Ribbon snip tandem, clients queuing. Tats for strays adopted, proceeds split. Winter, Theo's first snow. Mittens lost, snowman lopsided, laughter pure. But undercurrents stirred. Mia scans routine, postpartum checks flagging fatigue. Just mom life, she brushed, but Lena's shadow loomed genetic. Insistence. Full workup. Diagnosis whisper. Early markers monitoring urged. Like hers? Nora asked, voice small. Manageable, doc soothed. Protocol started. Meds measured, yoga mats unrolled. We rallied, my designs for awareness, Jordan's tat symbolic. Theo oblivious, block stacking towers. Summer flare. Mia hospitalized, brief, infection sneaky. Theo's confusion. Mama sick. Tired. I soothed, cuddles compensating. Fall stability. Clear scans, breaths easy. Dodged, she sighed, hugging Theo tight. Winter family therapy. Unpacking fears, voices layering strength. Spring, Theo's preschool. Backpack slung, waves brave. Empty nest redux, Jordan and I reclaiming. Date nights, jazz clubs, sack sighing seduction. Summer road trip. Canyons again, Theo strap secure, echoes calling. Fall, book trilogy complete. Nora's illustrations joining, launch trilogy tour. Winter solstice, candles triple, Lena. Lost pups, future hopes. City shifted. Pandemic whispers global but local, we mass clinic runs, virtual consults. Spring lockdown, homeschool, Theo blocks to screens, Mia televetting. Summer eased restrictions, park hugs distant then close. Fall vaccines, relief waves. Winter holidays, virtual kin but core tight. Theo's questions deepened. Why Gamma gone? Time's trick, I said. But love stays. Spring kindergarten. Bus yellow waves shrinking. Summer, Mia's pregnancy again, girl, ultrasound fluttering. Fall birth. Lila cries lilting, Theo big bro proud. Winter, double diapers, nights fragmented. But joy doubled. Lila's coos, Theo's tales. City demanded adaptation. Clinic pivoted tele. My remote designs global. Spring, Lila's rolls, Theo's reads. Summer beach, waves lapping legacies. Fall, Mia's health steady, meds miracles. Winter, family full, Jordan's stories tattooed on arms. Nora's gardens blooming. The door once closed now swung wide, what next? Growth's endless city. Decades danced, Theo teen tall, soccer star with Lena's drive. Lila tween fierce, braids battle ready. Home hummed. My studio corner, easel splashed. Jordan's parlor extension buzzing ink. Clinic empire. Mia Dean now branches citywide. Lena's name hall plaqued. Nora CFO grants gushing. Summer reunions. Dune's annual grandkids tumbling, Theo's twins soccer mad. Lila's artist bent sketches mine. Fall, Theo's wedding. Lakeside echo, his bride vet two vows like abuelas. Winter, great-grand Mia whispers. Full circle. Spring, Jordan's retirement tease. Tat's legacy to apprentice travel dreams. Summer, we jetted Iceland. Geysers gushing, his hand mine breath synced. Fall, health hiccups. My arthritis fingers sketches digital aid. Jordan's knee cane jaunty. Winter solstice, candles legion. Lost loves, saved souls. City evolved. Green roofs, clinic solar powered. My eco campaigns greening billboards. Theo's kids queried. Great Gamma. Legend. I'd say stories spun vivid. Lila's gallery show. My old sketches framed beside hers, tears pricking. Summer, Mia's remission decade marked. Party pavilion, toasts thundering. Fall, Jordan's heart scare. Stint but spirit unbroken. More ink left. Winter, bedside vigils, his laugh weak but wicked. Spring loss. He slipped gentle, parlor shuttered brief, then reopened tribute. Grief revisited but Mia's arm. He chose you daily. Summer scattering. Dunes again, ashes mingling, Lena's waves eternal. Fall, solo sketches, portraits paired, Jordan's curls captured. Winter, Lila's wedding. Artist love, vows creative chaos. Spring, great-greats toddle, my lap throne. Summer, Mia's fade. Lungs legacy but fight Lena-esque. Fall, vigil. Family fort, stories sustaining. Winter passing, quiet hand in mine. Love. Enough. Spring burial. Lakeside full, petals profuse. Summer, Theo's eulogy. She built bridges. Fall, clinic renamed. Harper Vasquez healing haven. Winter solstice, candles infinite. City's whisper final. Door closes soft, but heart's vet wanted next. Legacy's endless care. Love's dramatic arc. Meaningful close in every paw print left.